Aaron walked carefully across the ruined field that stretched from one broken hill to another. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the fallen stone blocks and the remains of tall metal towers. The air carried the scent of dry sand and old smoke, but the place was calm now. Aaron moved slowly because the ground was uneven and fragile. Every step needed focus. He held a small scanner in his hand that showed small green dots when it detected something alive. Aaron was a human explorer from a peaceful research group. His job was simple. He searched empty zones after border conflicts to find anyone who needed rescue. He worked alone most of the time because he liked the quiet. He did not think of himself as a hero. He just believed someone should help when help was needed. As he walked past a fallen wall, the scanner beeped once. The sound was soft but clear. Aaron stopped and looked at the screen. A faint energy signal flashed at the edge of the map. The signal was very weak, almost fading away. Aaron raised his head and looked toward the direction of the rocky pathway that led deeper into the old ruins. He felt his heartbeat grow faster. Most weak signals turned out to be damaged machines or small animals. Still, he continued because sometimes a life waited behind that weak signal. Aaron took a deep breath and followed the path. Dust rose around his boots as he stepped over loose stones. The path opened into a wide square that was once part of an ancient city. Half of the buildings had collapsed long ago. The other half stood like tired giants bending under their own weight. Light filtered through cracks in the buildings and created thin beams that touched the ground like soft threads. The scanner beeped again. Louder this time. Aaron turned to the right, and his eyes landed on something lying between two broken pillars. At first he thought it was a piece of silver cloth caught on a rock. But when he stepped closer, he realized it was someone. A person. A young alien woman lay on the ground with her back against a slab of stone. Her long silver hair spread around her head like soft shimmering strands. Her clothes were torn from the fall, and her skin had a pale blue tone that looked almost delicate. Her eyes were closed, and her breathing was slow. She looked calm, as if sleeping, but Aaron could see she was hurt. Aaron knelt beside her and checked her pulse. It was steady but weak. He took out his field kit and gently cleaned the small cuts on her arm. Her body was not injured badly. It looked like she had fallen from a great height or been pushed by a strong blast of air from a collapsing structure. Nothing suggested danger nearby, and Aaron felt relieved. He gave her a light boost from a safe medical patch and waited. After a short moment, her eyelids moved. Her eyes opened slowly, revealing a bright and gentle glow. When she saw Aaron, she tried to sit up but winced in pain. Aaron raised his hand in a calm way. "You are safe. Please rest," he said in a soft tone. She looked confused. Her lips parted as if she wanted to speak, but she hesitated. Her voice finally came out in a slow whisper. "Who are you?" "My name is Aaron. I am an explorer. I help anyone I find in empty zones. You were unconscious. I gave you first aid." She looked around with a troubled expression, as if searching for something that was no longer there. Her hands trembled slightly before she pulled them back to her chest. Aaron noticed the worry in her eyes but chose not to ask unnecessary questions. "What is your name?" Aaron asked politely. "Lyra," she answered. Her voice still carried weakness, but it was clear and soft. Aaron nodded. He offered water from a small pack. Lyra accepted it with careful hands and took a small sip. Her breathing steadied. She looked at Aaron again with caution but not fear. Aaron kept a respectful distance, trying to make her feel comfortable. "You should not stay here," Aaron said. "The ground is unstable. I can help you reach a safer place." Lyra looked toward the broken city and then back at him. She had no strength to stand on her own. Aaron noticed her struggle and offered his arm. Lyra hesitated again, but she finally placed her hand in his and allowed him to help her stand. Her steps were slow. She leaned slightly on Aaron as they moved toward a safer ridge. Aaron adjusted his pace to match hers. He did not rush her. Every time she winced from a small pain, he gave her enough time to recover. Once they reached a sheltered corner near a stable stone wall, Aaron set down his pack and helped her sit. Birds with bright wings flew above them, creating a small moment of peace. Lyra closed her eyes and took a deep breath. "You saved me," she said quietly. "I only did what anyone should do," Aaron replied. "Do you remember how you came here?" Lyra looked down at her hands. Her expression became thoughtful, yet she did not answer. Aaron could see she did not want to talk about it. So he changed the topic. "You need rest. When you are strong enough, I will guide you to a safe zone." Lyra nodded. She studied Aaron for a moment. Her eyes showed curiosity mixed with a warm spark. She had never met a human before. Many stories described humans as selfish or cold, but this man had shown nothing but kindness. Aaron opened a small shield tent to block the wind. Lyra sat inside while he sat outside and observed the area. He checked the sky for any patrol drones or falling structures. The world was quiet, but Aaron stayed alert. Lyra watched him through the open flap. She was amazed by how calm he looked. She wondered why he helped her without asking for a reward or any information. In her world, kindness often came with limits. Yet this human seemed different. After some time, Lyra spoke again. "Why do you work alone?" she asked. Aaron looked at her with a small smile. "I like the quiet paths. I meet interesting people. And I always hope I will find someone who needs help." Lyra felt something soft inside her chest. Something warm. She felt safe near him even though they had met only moments ago. She touched the silver amulet around her neck but kept it hidden under her cloak. She could not reveal her identity yet. Not now. She feared he would treat her differently. Aaron noticed her movements but did not question them. He respected her silence. He only wanted her to recover. Evening slowly approached. Golden light filled the ruins and made the broken stones glow gently. Aaron prepared simple food and shared it with Lyra. She ate quietly, grateful for the warm meal. When darkness fell, Lyra finally spoke again. "Aaron," she said softly. "Thank you for saving my life. You did not know who I was. You did not know if I could trust you. But you stayed." Aaron leaned back against the stone wall. "Anyone deserves help. It does not matter who you are." His words touched her deeply. She looked away, hiding the shine in her eyes. She did not want him to see her emotion. Night settled around them with cool air and calm silence. The stars appeared like silver points above the broken city. Lyra slowly drifted to sleep inside the shield tent. Aaron stayed awake for a while and listened to the quiet world around them. He checked his scanner again. The area was safe. He looked at Lyra, who now slept peacefully. "You will be all right," he whispered. He did not know she was an important figure in the galaxy. He did not know the choice he made today would change the future of many worlds. He only knew he had found someone who needed help. And that was enough for him. Aaron rested beside the tent and closed his eyes. The ruins remained silent through the night, holding the beginning of a story neither of them expected. The morning sun rose slowly over the broken city, casting pale gold light across the collapsed towers and scattered stones. Aaron packed his small field bag while Lyra slowly sat up, her silver hair shining in the light. The chill of the morning made her shiver slightly, and Aaron offered her his coat. She accepted it with a quiet nod, grateful for his thoughtful gesture. The ruins were empty, silent, but dangerous. Sharp edges of metal and stone could injure them if they were not careful. Aaron moved first, scanning the path ahead. His steps were deliberate and measured, his eyes sharp. Lyra followed closely, leaning on him slightly. Each step was slow. She had recovered some strength, but the journey was not easy. She had never walked such long distances alone or with anyone. Aaron noticed her hesitation. He smiled gently to encourage her. "Take your time. There is no need to rush," he said. Lyra nodded. She felt warmth from his words. Trust grew quietly between them. Even though she did not reveal her true identity, she found comfort in his presence. They walked along a narrow path lined with half-fallen walls. Broken bridges spanned empty pits. The air smelled of dust and dry stone. Small sounds echoed in the empty spaces. Aaron paused often to check the scanner, making sure no machines or dangerous creatures were nearby. Lyra watched him closely, impressed by his caution. She had always thought humans were reckless and careless. Aaron proved her wrong. After a few hours, the path led them to a dense forest. The trees were tall and old, their leaves forming a thick canopy. Sunlight filtered through the branches, creating patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The air smelled fresh and cool. It was a relief after the ruins of the city. Lyra breathed in the clean air and felt her body relax for the first time since the accident. Aaron, however, did not relax completely. He knew that danger could appear even in a forest. As they moved deeper, strange sounds began to echo around them. Low mechanical hums, the clicking of unknown devices, and the rustle of hidden animals created a tense atmosphere. Aaron raised a hand to signal Lyra to stop. He examined the scanner and saw faint movements ahead. "Stay close," he whispered. Lyra obeyed, moving quietly behind him. Aaron scanned the area carefully. He noticed small drones hidden among the branches. They had sensors and could detect movement. Some were old patrol machines left behind after the battles. They were harmless if ignored, but dangerous if triggered. Aaron led them around the machines using the shadows of the trees. Lyra followed silently, trying not to make noise. She admired his skill and quick thinking. She felt safe knowing he was protecting her. She also felt guilty for not telling him her real identity. She had to hide her status as a princess. If he knew, she feared he might treat her differently. After avoiding the drones, they reached a small clearing with a stream. The water was clear and cool. Lyra knelt by the stream and washed her hands. Aaron offered her some food from his pack. She ate quietly, grateful for the meal. The forest seemed calm here, but both knew danger could return at any moment. As they rested, Lyra looked at Aaron and asked, "Why do you help people you do not know?" Aaron smiled faintly. "Because it is the right thing to do. If someone needs help, I will give it. It does not matter who they are." Lyra thought about his words. They were simple, yet they carried great meaning. She realized that kindness could exist without expectation. She felt a soft warmth in her chest, the first she had felt in a long time. They continued their journey. The forest grew darker as evening approached. Shadows stretched long across the ground. They found a safe place to sleep under a large tree with thick branches. Aaron set up a small shelter using a fabric tarp and tied it to the tree. Lyra helped, her strength slowly returning. During the night, they heard distant noises, howls, crashes, and faint mechanical hums. Aaron stayed alert, keeping watch while Lyra rested. She felt a sense of safety despite the sounds. She realized that someone could be brave and calm even in dangerous places. Aaron had that quality. She wondered if all humans were like him. She also wondered what her life would have been if she had never met him. Morning came again with soft pink and orange light. They ate a simple breakfast and continued. Aaron guided them through narrow valleys, over rocky hills, and across shallow streams. He moved with care, always checking for danger. Lyra grew stronger with each step. She began to trust her legs again and even helped Aaron when he stumbled on uneven ground. As they walked, Lyra noticed something unusual. Many old machines and structures seemed to react when she passed by. They beeped softly, moved slightly, or turned toward her. She realized these reactions were not normal. Aaron noticed too, but he did not ask. He did not want to make her uncomfortable. Lyra felt a mix of curiosity and fear. She did not understand why the machines reacted to her. They entered a valley where the ruins of an ancient city lay scattered. The buildings were taller here, and some structures still stood upright despite the damage. The city was quiet, but the echoes of the past filled the air. They moved carefully, stepping over broken stones and avoiding sharp metal edges. Suddenly, a small group of patrol drones appeared, moving quickly toward them. Aaron acted immediately. He grabbed a large piece of broken metal and threw it into a narrow gap, creating a distraction. The drones paused, scanning the area. Aaron then signaled Lyra to run. She obeyed, following him closely. They moved silently, using the shadows and debris to hide. After a tense few minutes, they reached a safe corner. Aaron checked the scanner. The drones had moved away. Lyra exhaled deeply, her heart still racing. "You saved us again," she said softly. Aaron smiled. "We saved each other," he replied. Lyra looked at him. She wanted to tell him who she really was, but she could not. She feared the consequences. For now, she had to hide her identity. Aaron did not know she was a princess. She lay injured and alone in the ruins at first, but now she walked beside him, relying on his strength and courage. As evening fell, they found another safe place to rest. Aaron made a small fire using his portable kit. Lyra helped gather small sticks and stones. The fire provided warmth and light. They shared a simple meal. Lyra spoke little, thinking about the journey and the human who had saved her. Aaron noticed her quiet thoughts but did not push her. He understood that trust took time. He had seen many travelers and survivors who were cautious at first. He gave her space while keeping her safe. Night came, and the forest seemed calm once again. Stars appeared above, twinkling faintly through the branches. Lyra lay beside Aaron's shelter, thinking about the day's journey. She realized that the human beside her was brave, kind, and clever. She felt a growing admiration for him. Aaron stayed awake for a while, watching the stars. He thought about the journey ahead. He did not know who Lyra truly was, but he knew she needed help. That was enough for him. He believed that kindness and courage could overcome even the greatest dangers. The forest whispered around them, carrying the promise of another day. Aaron and Lyra slept with the knowledge that the journey would not be easy, but together they had a chance to reach safety. The path was uncertain, but their courage and trust in each other created hope. The sun would rise again, and with it, the continuation of a journey that would change both of their lives forever. Aaron did not know it yet, but Lyra's secret held power beyond imagination. For now, they only knew each other and the quiet strength of survival. The morning sun rose over the dense forest, sending thin golden rays through the tall trees. Aaron and Lyra prepared to continue their journey. The previous night had been calm, but both knew that the path ahead was not safe. Lyra felt stronger now, her injuries healing slowly, but she moved cautiously. Aaron watched her carefully, ready to assist at any moment. They walked through winding paths and small clearings. The air was fresh, and the soft sound of leaves rustling in the wind made the forest feel peaceful. Yet, both felt a quiet tension. The world was not as calm as it seemed. Strange sounds sometimes echoed from the distance, and Lyra's senses were sharper than usual. She noticed many small signs that machines and drones had passed through the area recently. "Are we far from a safe zone?" Lyra asked, her voice soft but steady. Aaron checked his scanner and shook his head. "Not yet. A few more hours of walking should bring us to an old communication outpost. It is abandoned, but we can use the equipment to call for help." Lyra nodded. She did not ask any further questions. She was careful not to reveal her identity. The secret of her royal status weighed on her mind. She had survived many dangers, but the truth about who she was could bring new risks. For now, Aaron only knew her as Lyra, a survivor who needed help. As they approached the outpost, the forest began to thin. Broken metal walls and half-collapsed buildings came into view. The outpost looked abandoned for decades. Vines climbed over the walls, and rust had eaten through many parts of the structure. Aaron moved cautiously, scanning for traps or hidden patrols. Inside the main building, they found the old control room. Dust covered the walls, and broken screens hung loosely from their mounts. Yet, surprisingly, some of the communication equipment still worked. Aaron set to work, trying to power the devices. Lyra watched him, impressed by his skill. She had not expected a human to know so much about ancient technology. After a few minutes, Aaron managed to send a short signal. He hoped someone from the nearest friendly zone would respond. Lyra felt a small hope rising inside her. She had survived so far, and soon help would arrive. Suddenly, the sky outside grew bright. The outpost sensors detected a large ship approaching. Aaron looked at the screen in surprise. The speed and design of the ship were advanced, far beyond the typical patrols in the region. Lyra's heart skipped a beat. She knew the ship instantly. It was an imperial vessel, part of the fleet from the empire she belonged to. She looked at Aaron, unsure what to say. The ship landed with a soft hum, its engines folding into silence. Soldiers in sleek uniforms emerged quickly. They moved with precision, scanning the area carefully. Lyra felt a mix of relief and fear. She had not expected to see imperial soldiers so soon, and now her secret risked being revealed. One of the soldiers stopped in front of her. His posture was formal, almost reverent. Lyra stepped back slightly, trying to remain calm. "Princess Lyra," the soldier said, bowing slightly. "We have been sent to retrieve you. You are safe now." Aaron froze. He looked at Lyra in shock. "Princess?" he asked. Lyra's eyes widened. She knew the truth was out, even if only in a small circle. She nodded slowly. "Yes. I am the princess of the empire," she admitted quietly. "I did not want to tell you because I did not want you to feel forced to help me." Aaron blinked. He had helped her without knowing her true identity. His actions had been kind and brave, not influenced by rank or power. He felt a new respect for her honesty. "It does not change anything," he said simply. "I helped because it was right." The soldiers around them observed the exchange carefully. One of them stepped forward, his expression more serious. "Sir," he said, turning to Aaron, "you have been instrumental in keeping the princess alive. She trusts you. That is not a small matter. We must take her aboard, but you may come with her if you wish." Aaron hesitated. The world he had known was simple. Now, it had become larger and more complex. A princess, imperial soldiers, advanced ships, and hidden enemies, everything seemed bigger than his life as an explorer. Yet, he did not doubt his choice. He had saved Lyra, and he would continue to protect her if needed. Lyra smiled faintly at him, gratitude and relief mixing in her eyes. She had feared that revealing her identity would change his opinion, but he remained the same calm and brave man she had met in the ruins. They moved toward the ship. Aaron helped Lyra walk, supporting her carefully. The soldiers followed, forming a protective circle. As they boarded, Lyra felt a strange mix of emotions, relief that she was safe, fear of political consequences, and hope that Aaron would remain by her side. Inside the ship, the environment was bright and modern. Soft lights illuminated the corridors, and the hum of engines filled the air. Soldiers moved efficiently, checking systems and preparing for departure. Aaron followed Lyra, observing everything with curiosity. One of the commanders approached Lyra. "Princess, your safety is our priority. We need to return to the capital immediately. There are questions that must be answered, and threats that must be assessed. Lyra nodded. She felt nervous. The capital was far, and she had not expected to be reunited with her people so quickly. Yet, she also felt relief that Aaron was with her. During the journey, Aaron noticed that Lyra's behavior changed slightly. She was quieter, more thoughtful. She avoided looking at the other soldiers too closely. He sensed that there was more to her past than she had revealed. He did not push, respecting her space. Suddenly, the ship passed near an asteroid field. Sensors picked up movement, fast ships approaching from the shadows. The soldiers reacted immediately, preparing defenses. Lyra's eyes widened. She had feared this possibility. "Enemy ships," she said softly. "They are after me." Aaron stood beside her. "We will be safe," he said. "We have people who can help, and we have your courage." The enemy ships fired briefly, but the Imperial vessel responded with precision. The pilots maneuvered skillfully among the asteroids, avoiding most attacks. Aaron watched in awe. Lyra stayed close to him, her trust in him growing. After several tense minutes, the enemy ships retreated. The threat had passed, but the danger was far from over. Lyra realized that revealing her identity had not only brought help but also brought new enemies. She felt a heavy responsibility weighing on her shoulders. Aaron noticed her worry. He placed a hand lightly on her shoulder. "We face challenges together," he said. "You are not alone." Lyra felt a surge of gratitude. She knew that without Aaron, she might have faced capture or worse. She also realized that humans could be powerful allies, not just survivors. His courage and honesty had earned her full trust. As the ship approached the capital, the city came into view. Towers of silver and crystal reflected the sunlight, creating a dazzling spectacle. The sight was overwhelming, yet beautiful. Lyra felt a mix of pride and anxiety. She had returned home, but she knew challenges awaited her there. Aaron stayed by her side, ready for whatever came next. He did not know all the political and personal consequences of her return, but he was ready to help. Lyra realized that the trust she had built with him was stronger than any title or rank. The ship descended slowly, landing in the central spaceport. Soldiers and officials awaited the princess. Lyra straightened her posture, feeling a mix of confidence and nervousness. Aaron followed her, quietly observing the bustling activity. The council and commanders approached, questioning and observing carefully. Lyra answered politely, careful with every word. When they asked about Aaron, she spoke honestly. "He saved my life," she said. "Without him, I would not have survived." The council listened intently. Aaron's presence impressed them. A human had acted with courage and integrity, protecting a princess in enemy territory. It was unusual and significant. Lyra felt a small relief. She had trusted him, and now the council recognized his value as well. The sun set over the capital, painting the city in shades of orange and gold. Lyra looked at Aaron, her expression soft. "Thank you," she whispered. Aaron nodded. "You would do the same for anyone," he said. The journey had revealed the truth. Lyra was the princess, and Aaron was a human who had saved her without knowing her identity. Their bond had grown stronger, built on trust, courage, and honesty. The next challenges would test them further, but for now, they had survived and learned the value of true friendship and loyalty. The story of Lyra and Aaron continued, with new dangers, new allies, and new lessons ahead. The truth had been revealed, and the path to the empire was only beginning. The imperial capital stretched before them like a shining jewel, its towers tall and elegant, reflecting the soft sunlight. Lyra felt a mixture of relief and unease. She had returned home, but the safety she had hoped for was fragile. Political tensions, enemies of the empire, and unknown forces lurked in the shadows. Aaron walked beside her, observing the city with curiosity. He had never seen a place so large, so alive with activity. Humans and aliens moved together in harmony, carrying goods, communicating, and attending to their daily tasks. Lyra guided Aaron through the busy streets, careful to avoid drawing unnecessary attention. Though she was the princess, she did not want him to feel uncomfortable among the citizens. She pointed out areas of the city where she had grown up, places she remembered fondly, and small details that gave her comfort. Aaron listened quietly, absorbing every word. Their return to the imperial palace was met with careful scrutiny. Soldiers and advisors watched their every move. Lyra felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. The council wanted answers, and she knew that her enemies might use any weakness against her. Inside the palace, the atmosphere was tense. Advisors debated her return, some praising her survival, others questioning how she had escaped. Lyra remained calm. She trusted her instincts and the judgment of the loyal guards who had protected her. Aaron stayed close, silently offering support. As they entered a private chamber, a sudden alert rang throughout the palace. The security systems had detected an unusual energy signature near the outer gates. Lyra's heart sank. She knew the danger was real. The enemies who had tried to capture her before were not finished. The commander of the palace guard turned to Lyra. "Princess, it appears that our previous attackers have returned. They may have inside help. We must act quickly to protect the palace." Aaron studied the information on the holographic display. He noticed patterns in the movement of the enemy ships that suggested more than just a random attack. Someone from inside the Empire had helped them. He shared his observations with Lyra and the commander. The council listened carefully, surprised by the accuracy of his analysis. Lyra felt a mix of fear and determination. She had survived once with Aaron's help. She would survive again, but this time she had to protect the palace, her people, and the fragile trust that had been built between humans and the Empire. The soldiers prepared for defense. Shields were activated, and energy barriers rose along the walls. Patrols moved quickly through the surrounding areas. Lyra watched from a secure balcony, her hands gripping the railing. Aaron stood beside her, calm and attentive. "Stay close," Lyra said softly. "I do not want you in danger." Aaron smiled faintly. "I will stay where I am needed most," he replied. The first wave of attackers appeared on the sensors. Small ships moved quickly, trying to breach the palace defenses. The guards responded immediately, using energy pulses and defensive maneuvers to block the ships. Aaron observed the battle closely. He noticed weaknesses in the attackers' formation and suggested strategic moves to the commander. The plan worked. The palace defenses held firm. Lyra felt relief, but it was temporary. She knew that this was only the beginning. The enemy would not give up easily. Their determination meant that they had a larger plan, one that could threaten the Empire if not stopped. After the initial attack, the palace council gathered in a secure chamber. Lyra and Aaron were present, along with key advisors. The discussion was intense. Some members suggested immediate counterattacks. Others warned against rushing into danger without full information. Aaron spoke calmly, offering insight from his experience as an explorer and survivor. He pointed out patterns that others had overlooked, showing that patience and careful strategy could prevent unnecessary losses. Lyra listened and nodded. She valued his judgment. He had proven his intelligence and bravery during their journey. Now, he helped her navigate the complex political and military challenges of the palace. Later, Lyra requested a private meeting with Aaron. They walked through quiet corridors, far from the council and advisors. The walls were decorated with tapestries showing the history of the Empire, battles won, and leaders who had shaped its destiny. Lyra felt the weight of her ancestors as she spoke. "I fear they have inside help," she said softly. "Someone knows the secrets of the palace. They know how to bypass our defenses. I do not understand why, but I know I must find the truth." Aaron nodded. "Then we will look carefully. We will find any sign of their plan and stop them. You are not alone in this. Lyra felt comforted by his words. She realized that courage came in many forms. It was not only fighting with weapons but also thinking, observing, and acting with intelligence. Aaron had shown her that bravery was a combination of wisdom and heart. The next day, the palace launched reconnaissance missions. Drones flew above the surrounding areas, scanning for hidden ships or enemy bases. Scouts moved through nearby forests and mountains. Aaron joined the scouts, guiding them with knowledge of terrain and survival. Lyra stayed in the palace, coordinating defenses and communicating with the council. She felt a sense of urgency but also confidence that the strategy would work. A few hours later, the scouts reported an unexpected finding. Small hidden outposts had been set up on the outskirts of the city. They were cleverly concealed, using natural rocks and old structures. The energy readings matched the attacks on the palace. Aaron and Lyra examined the reports. It was clear that the enemy had carefully planned their operations. We need to act quickly, Aaron said. These outposts are close enough to launch attacks at any moment. We should neutralize them before they strike again. The commander agreed. Forces were mobilized, and a small team led by Aaron moved toward the nearest outpost. The journey was challenging. The terrain was rough, filled with narrow paths, cliffs, and old ruins. Aaron guided the team safely, avoiding traps and ambushes. When they reached the first outpost, they discovered advanced equipment and several enemy operatives. Aaron and the team coordinated quietly, using stealth to disable the machines and capture the intruders. Lyra monitored from the palace, coordinating backup and communication. After the operation, the team returned safely to the palace. The council acknowledged the success. Lyra felt a sense of accomplishment, but she knew the enemy had more plans. The attacks were not random, they were part of a larger strategy. That evening, Lyra and Aaron stood on the palace balcony, overlooking the city. The sun set, painting the towers in shades of gold and orange. Lyra felt a moment of peace. She realized that trust and loyalty were her greatest strengths. Aaron had shown her that humans could be brave allies, and she had seen firsthand how courage could change outcomes. Aaron looked at her. "You have a strong spirit," he said. "You inspire people to act with courage, and you make those around you better. That is rare." Lyra smiled softly. "And you have shown me that courage does not always come from rank or power. Sometimes it comes from simple choices, from helping without expecting reward." Their conversation was interrupted by a new alert. Sensors detected movement in a distant part of the capital. The enemy was not finished. Lyra and Aaron prepared once more, ready to act. The night passed with quiet vigilance. The palace remained alert, and every member of the team understood the importance of their role. Lyra felt a growing sense of responsibility, knowing that the safety of her people depended on careful planning, courage, and trust. As the first light of dawn appeared, the city seemed peaceful again. Lyra turned to Aaron. "We have faced danger before, and we will face it again. But I know we can overcome it, together." Aaron nodded. "Together," he agreed. The shadow of the enemy still lingered, but Lyra and Aaron had proven that courage, intelligence, and trust could overcome even hidden threats. The empire had been challenged, but the strength of its leaders and the loyalty of its allies had held firm. The next chapter of their journey awaited, with new challenges, new discoveries, and the knowledge that survival depended not only on power but also on the bonds they had forged in the face of danger. The threat from the shadows had been revealed, but the courage of Lyra and Aaron shone brightly, ready to meet whatever came next. The morning sun rose over the imperial capital, casting a soft golden glow across the shining towers and wide streets. Lyra stood on a balcony in the palace, looking down at the city she had known as a child. The attacks from the shadow forces were over for now, but the weight of her responsibilities pressed heavily on her. She had returned to her people, and the council awaited her decisions. The empire depended on her, and she knew she had to act with wisdom and courage. Aaron stood beside her, watching the city with quiet interest. Humans had never seen an empire so vast and organized. He admired the way the citizens moved, the way the city functioned like a living organism. Lyra turned to him, her silver hair glinting in the sunlight. "Thank you for being here," she said softly. "Without you, I would not have survived. Without your help, I could not have returned to the capital safely." Aaron shook his head, smiling. "I only did what anyone should do. You were in danger, and I helped. That is all." Lyra studied him for a moment, realizing that his courage and honesty were rare qualities. She had met many people in her life, but none like Aaron. He had risked his life for her without knowing who she really was, and without expecting reward. She felt a quiet admiration and deep trust for him. Inside the palace, the council gathered to discuss the recent attacks. Lyra took her place at the head of the room, her posture calm and confident. Advisors and commanders presented reports, showing the intelligence they had gathered and the defensive measures they had implemented. Lyra listened carefully, asking questions and offering suggestions. Her mind was sharp, and her decisions were measured. One advisor spoke cautiously. "Princess, the attacks were clearly planned by enemies who have inside knowledge of the empire. We must strengthen our defenses and investigate who could have aided them." Lyra nodded. "We will strengthen our defenses," she said. "But we will also seek allies. Trust and loyalty are as important as strength. We cannot face the future alone." She turned to Aaron, who had been observing quietly. "Humans have shown courage and intelligence. They are capable allies. They have saved my life and can help protect the empire." The council members murmured in surprise. Many had underestimated humans, thinking of them as weak or unreliable. Lyra's words challenged their assumptions. Aaron felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had acted out of simple kindness, but now his actions were recognized on a scale he had never imagined. As the council deliberated, Lyra received a message from the scouts who had returned from the outskirts of the city. They had discovered traces of hidden enemy outposts. Though most were neutralized, some equipment remained, and it indicated that the enemy had larger plans. Lyra realized that the threat was not completely gone. She called Aaron aside. "We need to ensure the empire is safe from future attacks," she said. "I will need your help. Your knowledge, your courage, and your judgment will be invaluable." Aaron nodded. "I will do my best. But remember, you are not alone in this. The people you lead will also support you. And together, we can face any challenge." The princess smiled. She felt a new sense of confidence. She had returned not only as a survivor but as a leader who understood the value of loyalty, courage, and trust. Her experiences with Aaron had changed her perspective. She realized that leadership was not about titles or fear but about inspiring others and making wise choices. Days passed as the palace organized defenses and strengthened alliances. Lyra met with human envoys and other leaders, showing them the importance of cooperation. Aaron accompanied her, offering insight and advice. Together, they formed plans to protect the empire from future threats. The citizens began to see the value of humans as allies. Trust grew between species, and the empire became stronger because of it. One afternoon, while overseeing a training exercise with the guards, Lyra noticed a small group of young soldiers struggling with their drills. She approached them, offering guidance and encouragement. Aaron watched quietly. He realized that Lyra had grown even stronger, not only in courage but in compassion and leadership. She has truly become a leader, he thought. Her strength comes from her heart as much as from her mind. Later, Lyra and Aaron walked through the palace gardens. The sun was low in the sky, casting long shadows across the marble paths and blooming flowers. The air was calm, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of jasmine. Lyra felt a rare moment of peace. "Aaron," she said, breaking the silence, "I have learned so much from you. You have taught me that courage is not only in battle but also in choices, in loyalty, and in protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Aaron smiled gently. And I have learned from you as well. Leadership requires more than strength. It requires wisdom, compassion, and the ability to inspire others. You have all of these qualities, Princess. Lyra blushed faintly at the title but accepted it. She realized that her identity as a princess was not a burden but a responsibility she was ready to embrace. She also realized that she could trust Aaron completely. His presence gave her confidence, and his guidance made her stronger. As the days went on, the empire became more secure. Hidden threats were uncovered and neutralized. Alliances were strengthened. Citizens began to feel safe again, and Lyra's reputation as a wise and courageous leader grew. Her bond with Aaron became known, and he was honored for his bravery and service. Yet he remained humble, insisting that his actions were only what anyone should do. One evening, after a long day of planning and meetings, Lyra and Aaron stood together on the palace balcony, watching the sunset. The city glowed in shades of orange and gold. The empire was safe for now, and the future seemed bright. You have done more than you realize, Lyra said softly. You have helped not only me but the empire itself. Aaron looked at her. I only helped because it was right. But I am glad it has made a difference. Lyra smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. She knew that one small act of courage could change the course of history. Aaron had shown her that human kindness and bravery could make a real difference, even in a galaxy filled with danger. The council called a formal ceremony to honor the heroes. Lyra stood before the citizens and leaders of the empire, her posture confident and strong. She spoke of courage, loyalty, and the importance of trust. She recognized humans as allies, praising their bravery and wisdom. When Aaron was called forward, the citizens cheered. He had become a symbol of courage, loyalty, and friendship. After the ceremony, Lyra and Aaron walked through the palace gardens once more. The air was calm, and the soft glow of lanterns illuminated their path. Lyra looked at Aaron, feeling a mixture of respect, gratitude, and admiration. Aaron, she said, you have taught me the greatest lesson of all. True strength comes from the heart. Courage, loyalty, and kindness are more powerful than weapons or titles. Together, we can face any challenge. Aaron smiled. And together, we will. You have shown me that leadership is about inspiring others, and you have inspired me. The stars appeared above, twinkling like silver jewels in the night sky. Lyra realized that her journey had changed her. She had returned home as a survivor but had grown into a wise and courageous leader. Aaron had shown her the power of trust and loyalty. The empire was stronger because of their bond, and the future was bright. As they stood side by side, Lyra felt a sense of hope and determination. She would protect her people, build alliances, and face any challenge that came their way. Aaron's presence reminded her that courage and kindness could come from the most unexpected places. The story of Lyra and Aaron had reached a new chapter. The shadow threats had been revealed and defeated, but the lessons they had learned would guide them into the future. Together, they had faced danger, uncovered truths, and built a bond that would last beyond the challenges of any day. The empire had survived, and the princess had risen. With courage, wisdom, and the loyalty of a brave human by her side, Lyra looked forward to the future, ready to lead and protect her people with honor and determination. The city slept peacefully under the stars, the light of hope shining brightly in every corner. The journey had tested them, but it had also revealed the strength of trust, courage, and friendship. The empire was safe, the princess was strong, and the story of their courage would be remembered for generations. And in that calm night, as the city rested, Lyra and Aaron stood together, ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge.